Thank you. Keep it going for Bob. And all the wonderful performers and everybody who put this show together. One more time, let's hear it. It is so wonderful to be here. I come to you from central New Jersey, and this is the most Jews I've seen in 30 years. And you're all beautiful. It's so wonderful. So hey guys, I have to tell you something. I just celebrated my 61st birthday. Thank you so much. You know, my friends got together and they bought me a gift certificate for my birthday to a spa. I went to the spa and the 20-something spa consultant was sitting behind the counter and she said to me, Mrs. Weisblatt, at your age, I would recommend the rejuvenating facial with elder cream. I said, oh really? At your age, I would recommend that you die, bitch. I should smite you with my walker, you little turd face. But I would never get plastic surgery. Would anybody get plastic surgery here, or am I too late in asking? No, I have nothing against plastic surgery, nothing at all. It's just that it's extremely expensive, and I would much more likely go to an upholsterer. But I have to tell you, in honesty and truth, I did maybe have a little plastic surgery. When I was 13 years old, I had my nose fixed. But I don't really think of this as plastic surgery. I think of it much more as bat mitzvah preparation. Now, you see, I was born with a nose like a parrot. And my father was totally against my getting my nose fixed. He said to me, Polly, sit down, have a cracker. He said, Polly, I think we're going to send you to a psychiatrist to find out why you don't like yourself and why you keep pecking on the furniture. Okay? I said, not okay. Polly want a nose job. Telling you. Well, we're all getting old. I know I'm, getting older. And every ache and pain I get now, I feel like is the beginning of my death process. So I start every day with a bowl of Wheaties and WebMD. It's the breakfast of neurotic champions. But I'll tell you something. I would never, ever eat grape nuts. I would never, and it's not that I don't suffer from the occasional irregularity. It's that I refuse to eat a cereal that looks like what I'm trying to accomplish. I don't know. My cholesterol says I'm old. My children say I'm old. So I take Lipitor and I cut my children in half. I'll tell you, I really have always prided myself on, putting myself together nicely, and I see that everybody here is the same way. It's really nice. It doesn't matter how old you are. Coordinating is a very, very important thing, and I promised myself that I'm going to make sure that the tennis balls on my walker match the color of my Depends. Now, I know that you can tell by looking at me that I have a urinary tract infection. I went to the doctor. I had never seen this guy before. He said to me, Mrs. Weisblatt, lie down on the table, pull down your panties, and put your legs way up over your head. I said to myself, I wish the pool boy would say that to me. And we don't even have a pool. But then things got really weird because this doctor was head deep in my crotch, and he says to me, Mrs. Weisblatt, you look very familiar to me. I mean, I was really angry. I was pissed. In fact, I would have pissed, but I had a urinary tract infection, and I was afraid it would burn. So I said to him, I was so mad. I said, you are very rude. I'll tell you what, why don't you lie down on this table, pull down your panties, and we'll see if it's a small world after all. I'm married a long time. I'm married for 30 years, and you don't have to clap, because my friends took bets. They said, this will never last. But you know what? Here we are, 30 years later, still married, only because I hate to lose a bet. That's a good one. I'm glad you approve. Very good. Thank you so much. So, yeah, so 30 years. So people are married longer. Anybody married longer than I am here? Clap it up if you're married longer. Yeah, one person. Okay. Yeah, so 30 years, and I'm sure you will agree, you know, having sex with the same person for 30 years can get a little bit tedious after a while. So my husband and I decided to spice things up a little bit. And we made a deal with each other, and we said, you know what, we're going to think about whatever we want to when we're making love, but we're not going to tell the other person. And they, you know, that's what we agreed to. And I know that my husband, when we're making love, is fantasizing that the New York Yankees are in the World Series. See, and I don't really care, because when we're making love, I pretend I'm banging Derek Jeter. Tell you, it's really something. You guys are wonderful. Oh, give it up one more time for yourselves. You're just terrific. I'm loving you. I'm just totally loving you. Yeah, so I have a couple of kids. They're both boys. They're 27 and 24 years old. And when you're the mother of boys and you have a husband and you're so outnumbered, it's very, very difficult. In fact, I thought about getting a female dog so I wouldn't be the only bitch in my house. And my older son is a very, very smart guy. In fact, he majored in Mandarin Chinese architecture, which is why after college he lived at home and was unemployed. So he goes to China pretty frequently, and you know, I got very worried about him because he has the same parrot nose that I used to have. And he certainly does not look Chinese, and I was very concerned. And then I realized that I would always be able to find him on Google Earth. But here's the thing. I know that in China, there must be a girl there. And I'm going to let you in on something. I don't care if my son ends up with some bayonet-toting, uniform-wearing, red card-carrying, Chairman Mao-loving communist. I do not care. As long as she's from a nice Jewish family. Now, I have a mother who I do a lot of things with. I just totally adore her. I wish she could have been here tonight because she would have been having a blast. But my mom and I do a lot of traveling together, and she has an artificial knee. So my mother always gets stopped and frisked. The last time my mother and I took a trip, though, she breezed right through security. I take one look at my mother looks depressed, and I know why. It's because my 88-year-old mother looks forward to getting felt up. So I went to the TSA guy and I said, I'm sorry, sir. Excuse me, I hate to bother you. But if I give you $20, would you feel up my mother? He said, madam, for 40, I'll rock her world. I'll leave you with this. Everybody have a cell phone here? Yeah. Do you know, I was reading recently that if you're on your cell phone 150 times a day, that means you're addicted to your cell phone. I am not addicted to my cell phone because I never put it down. Except when I'm in the quiet car of the train, I take my cell phone, I put it on vibrate, I stick it between my legs, and I hope someone calls me. And I don't care if there are robocalls trying to sell me aluminum siding or my alma mater asking me for money, as long as the calls come in rapid succession and just a little bit to the left. And if later in the day somebody asks me, Joan, did you come on the train? I can honestly say yes, and it was fabulous, and so are you. Thank you so much.
Joan.